ovation for NXT here at WrestleMania Axxess in San Jose, California. Rich Brennan alongside Corey Graves and Graves. This is a happening.
Will you stop? For 8 men, the biggest opportunity of their careers, a chance to represent NXT in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania.
And folks, what an experience it was here during WrestleMania week as WWE and NXT took over the entire Bay Area here in sunny California.
It's been called the Super Bowl of wrestling. Superstars of the WWE are here in the Bay Area.
For me, it's my favorite week of the whole year.
Introducing the unforgettable, most incredible pound for pound king you ever seen.
Oh my God. I'm not in this. Sami Zayn's in it, and he's as big as Ryback. Yeah, no one's original. It's my belt, my shirt. I'm an artist.
When WrestleMania comes to town, watch out, because everything's WWE.
It truly shows you how big WrestleMania is and what a big event it is.
Give it up for Tyler Breeze.
I told you to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think the Bay Area is ready for the WWE Universe.
We are the future, and the future is taking over, and it's right now.
WWE Axxess, yeah, right here. This is WWE Axxess, and it is
Pretty cool shirts over here. I was just checking it out.
If I had a dime for every dime that Will picked up in that shirt, we'd be millionaires.
That's right.
You know, this is one of my favorite things to do. I love being able to interact and just talk to them.
How are you?
Remember me?
Yes, everything. Oh, look at this.
I just wanted to interact with you, so...
And every minute was worth it.
One word that it is not is
And as always, NXT with a huge presence at this year's WrestleMania Axxess, but nothing was a bigger attraction than the tournament to decide which NXT superstar would compete at WrestleMania in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, first round action kicked off in a massive way with the first ever meeting between Finn Balor and NXT's lone wolf, Baron Corbin. Corbin controlled most of the match, but the enigmatic Balor turned the tide, defeating a stunned Corbin with a surprise roll-up to move on to the semifinals of the tournament.
But Finn Balor would not have an easy road to WrestleMania. He'd be facing the winner of the next first-round matchup between Bull Dempsey and Tyler Breeze. NXT's Wrecking Ball, Bull Dempsey showing his dominance and power early on in the matchup, but Graves, as we've learned time and time again, you can never count out Prince Pretty.
One beauty shot later, and Tyler Breeze cemented his place in the semifinals of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal qualifying tournament. That's a mouthful.
And then talk about the opportunity of a lifetime for our next two competitors as international sensation Hideo Itami took on up-and-comer Jason Jordan. It was a competitive back-and-forth encounter. Graves, the NXT Universe, on their feet in San Jose.
And Jordan came close on a number of occasions, but Hideo Itami came out victorious, one step closer to the bright lights of WrestleMania.
And Itami certainly paying attention to the last first-round match of the tournament with Neville and Kalisto face-to-face for the first time ever in NXT. And you talk about two guys taking it to the skies. It was an unforgettable confrontation.
Yeah, these two high flyers rocked WrestleMania Axxess. The man that gravity forgot lived up to his nickname. One red arrow later, defeating Kalisto, Neville was on his way to the semifinals.
An absolutely incredible first round of competition here on NXT for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal qualifying tournament, and the semifinal matches are set. Later tonight, Tyler Breeze looks to stop the rise of Finn Balor before it ever reaches WrestleMania.
Yeah, but up next, semifinal action kicks off with yet another first ever matchup. Two of NXT's brightest stars battle for their shot at glory. Hideo Itami, Neville, one-on-one for the very first time, next on NXT.
Welcome back to NXT here at WrestleMania Axxess as Hideo Itami and Adrian Neville get set for semifinal action.
Semi-final action. Neville versus Hideo. And listen to the NXT universe here at Axxess. This match has all the makings of being an instant classic, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Both of these competitors have battled around the globe. Adrian Neville, world renowned, had success in Japan. Obviously, Hideo Itami, one of the biggest stars in Japan, but now trying to make it here at NXT. They've both had measures of success. We've talked about that. But getting the opportunity to move on, to have an opportunity, a WrestleMania moment, especially for somebody like Hideo. He hasn't even been in WWE for a full year yet. To have that WrestleMania moment so early could be career defining, couldn't it?
Of course, I'm a giant believer in momentum. And coming off of the momentum of an appearance at WrestleMania, whether it be Hideo, whether it be Neville, anybody in the tournament, the momentum generated from a WrestleMania appearance could absolutely be career changing. You'd have to automatically put them in the discussion for the NXT Championship right off the bat.
The winner of this contest will square off against the winner of the Finn Balor Tyler Breeze matchup.
It's another potential instant classic.
Yeah. What do you expect from this matchup here, technically, Corey?
Well, I think it comes down to what either man does best. Hideo Itami, of course, known for his strikes. Adrian Neville has aerial attack. Whoever can implement their game plan, their strength first, I think will walk out victorious.
It's like both competitors going for more of a ground game, at least early on in the matchup. Who has the edge there?
Both men are fantastic wrestlers.
Oh, shoulders are down, and Neville able to kick out at one.
Both have trained in mixed martial arts, and they have strong backgrounds in wrestling. In a tournament like this, you have to realize, as important as each individual match is, you're aware that you're gonna have to compete again. So you don't necessarily want to come out of the gate 100 miles an hour.
Neville soaking it in.
So I think call it the NXT experience here at Axxess. Interactive, live.
Such an incredible atmosphere at WrestleMania Axxess. Tournament for the opportunity to have a WrestleMania moment, compete in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That's what's at stake. Whoop.
This is a sound strategy by Adrian Neville right now. By neutralizing Hideo, keeping him on the ground, he stays away from those strikes.
Neville connecting with a shoulder. He's starting to quicken a little bit here.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Too many of those, and Neville is out of this tournament.
Neville smartly getting himself to the ropes and trying to slow the pace down.
Every kick, every punch, every strike by Hideo is a potential knockout blow. Just takes the right one at the right spot, and Neville's night is over.
Oh, that is exactly what Hideo Itami wants. He wants to quicken things. Big clothesline sending Neville to the outside. The momentum shifting in Hideo's favor.
I think Hideo might have just kicked Neville's mouth guard into the next display over there, somewhere over by the Hell in a Cell.
Referee starting the count.
And Neville's doing a smart thing here. He's rolling outside of the ring. He's utilizing the 10 count to recover, replan, refocus, and try a different approach to defeating Hideo.
Referee up to the 9 count, and Neville.
He has till 10. I don't know what everyone's upset about.
So you think that's smart? Slow the pace down and take the momentum back, perhaps?
It's not about slowing down the pace, it's about just taking a moment to regroup.
Let's go. Let's up. One.
After that kick by Hideo, Neville had to regroup, and that's exactly what he did, and now you can see it's paying off. He's back in control.
Neville connecting with a strike. Hook of the leg. And a kick out by Hideo Itami. If you were Hideo, would you have gone after Neville? Got him back in the ring quicker?
Maybe. The risk you run is you never...
Cover, shoulders down, and again, Hideo kicking out. Neville trying to put Hideo away.
You have to be cautious at times because you never know what your opponent's thinking. Maybe Neville rolled out to catch his breath. Maybe Neville was dazed. It could have been a missed opportunity, but you never know. Oh, right in the chin.
And Neville connecting. Taking nothing away from Adrian Neville. He's got some nasty strikes of his own. Slam, center of the ring, cover. Again, a kick out by Hideo. If there's one thing about Hideo Itami that we know, he loves fighting from underneath at times. It almost seems to fire him up. He gets down, he gets himself in situations like this, but he digs into that fighting spirit.
Hideo is the embodiment of the Japanese fighting spirit.
Neville connecting with the elbow. Cover, hooks the leg, and again, Hideo kicking out.
I don't believe Hideo knows the meaning of the word quit. He will fight until he cannot fight anymore, which has made him so successful here in this business.
Neville stepping right on the chin of Hideo Itami.
I gotta be honest with you, I kind of like this meaner streak of Adrian Neville I'm seeing right now. Maybe if we were tag team partners, he had a little more of this, we wouldn't have had to beat him up.
If there's anybody you know as well as anybody, Adrian Neville. Oh, snap suplex, cover. And again, a kick out. Again, the opportunity to compete in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania is on the line. The semifinals. Winner of this matchup faces the winner of Tyler Breeze and Finn Balor.
Notice how every time Neville manages to get Hideo's shoulders on the mat, he attempts to cover. He tries to cover. A quick fall could change the face of the entire tournament. You can't waste opportunities like that.
Oh. Neville connecting to the chin. Oh! And Hideo Itami.
Just like that, the tides can change.
Winding things up here. Oh, leg sweep.
Neville came down hard on the back of his head.
Here comes Hideo! Adrian Neville looking a little wobbly here, Corey.
Needs to think of something fast if he wants to counter this.
Oh, look out! Oh! Hideo using the rope as a weapon. Here he goes to the top rope. Hideo Itami, flying clothesline. Cover, hooks the leg, is it enough?
Did you see the height Itami got on that clothesline? Looks like he's not the only one gravity forgot in that ring.
Hideo Itami in full control. Semi-final matchup. Look out. Hold on, Neville. Cover, is it enough? Neville misses with the kick, and Hideo Itami locking in the sleeper. Sleeper locked in. The look on Hideo's face tells it all. Oh, hold on.
Reverses the Dragon Sleeper. That shades of Tatsumi Fujinami.
Be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Because that's an effective maneuver. He led him to a great career.
And an inspiration of Hideo's. Neville able to work his way out of it, but hang on, look at this! What a suplex! Cover! Hooks the leg! Hideo! Unable to put Neville away.
Adrian Neville knows how much this opportunity means. It's gonna take everything Hideo has to beat him.
The NXT Universe here at WrestleMania Axxess. Enjoying what they're seeing. Listen to them, Corey.
How can they not? I'm enjoying myself.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hideo Itami trying to set up Adrian Neville. Instead connecting with the legs. What strikes by Hideo?
Neville's in the wrong part of town right now. We've seen this many times.
Here comes Hideo. Oh my goodness, super kick. Connected square with the chin. Hook of the leg, that's gonna be all. And somehow, Hideo Itami stays alive.
How on earth did Itami kick out of that? Neville caught him flush on his chin with a beautiful super kick.
And hold on, Adrian Neville setting up Hideo Itami. Neville, you know what he's thinking. Red Arrow is on the way.
If he connects with this, it is over.
The man that gravity forgot.
What agility by Neville.
Oh! And Hideo Itami connecting in the corner. Here comes Hideo. Here it comes. Corner stalling drop kick. Hideo running kick. That connected square. Is this enough? Yes. Hideo Itami going to the finals of this tournament will face the winner of Tyler Breeze versus Finn Balor for the opportunity to compete in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania. What a competitive match, Corey Graves.
I could watch these things over and over again. These guys have the biggest opportunity of their life in front of them. Hideo Itami is one step closer.
Well, Hideo Itami one step closer to WrestleMania, but coming up next, we find out who stands in his way with semi-final action. Tyler Breeze, Finn Balor, the right to face Itami. The winner goes to WrestleMania. That's next on NXT.
You ever wake up with that feeling like it's one versus all? An endless cycle. Eat, sleep, conquer, repeat. Eat, sleep, conquer, repeat. You think life's got you all figured out. Think again. Remember this. Be fearless. Harness your hustle, loyalty, and respect. And you'll be the undisputed future. Find your comfort zone and find what fits you.
Welcome back to this very special edition of NXT. And Finn Balor looks to be all business as he gets ready to take on Tyler Breeze, with the winner advancing to the finals of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal qualifying tournament.
Tyler Breeze versus Finn Balor. The winner of this match will face Hideo Itami in the finals of this tournament, at which point the winner will go on to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. One of these NXT superstars will get a WrestleMania moment. It doesn't get any bigger than that.
And Rich, it could be argued that Finn Balor could be the favorite. Finn Balor excels in tournaments. He was recently won the #1 contender tournament, came up a little short against Kevin Owens, but what would a victory, even an appearance at WrestleMania, mean for getting back in the championship picture?
Tyler Breeze doing his best to look as nonchalant as possible. We talked about the mind games before of Finn Balor. That entrance, the elaborate entrance, with or without the body paint, with or without the makeup. That gets in his opponent's heads, but how much does somebody like Tyler Breeze just kind of sitting there observing everything? How much is that Breeze trying to play mind games?
He might be trying to play mind games, or he might just be trying to keep Finn Balor out of his own mind. Just don't acknowledge it. There you go. There's some mind games for you, Rich. Could you imagine the photo shoots if Tyler Breeze were to leave with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy? We'd probably never see him again. He might just be booked up solid for years.
Do you think he'd dress up the trophy?
I mean, it might not look bad with a little fur on it.
What do you expect from this matchup?
I expect it to be highly competitive.
Oh, what a drop kick by Balor.
Both of these superstars will leave it all in the ring. They have to because of what is at stake. We saw the other first round match, or the other semifinal match with Hideo and Neville. And there's the mind games for you too. I guess turnabout's fair play.
Whoa. And a draw, Tyler Breeze, Finn Balor for the victory. Breeze able to kick out. What a chop by Balor. Talking about the other semifinal matchup. Hideo Itami edging Adrian Neville to move on to the finals.
What a contest. What an absolute competitive masterpiece.
Yeah. Oh, Balor connecting with a kick to the midsection. Oh. Take nothing away from Tyler Breeze. Hook in the leg here, center of the ring. Kick out here by Finn Balor. Again, one of the things that Tyler Breeze has had to fight throughout his career is a perception problem, correct?
It could be said, it could be argued that he had a perception issue, but I think he's done a very good job of changing people's minds and opening their eyes to what Tyler Breeze, the competitor, is actually capable of. Once you get past the furry boots and the selfies, he's an extremely talented superstar. He's very capable of going very far in this business. He just needs to keep his focus.
Breeze has been in the NXT title picture in the past. Some would say never cover here, hook in the leg and a kick out, never properly got an opportunity at the then champion Adrian Neville. We know that it will be Hideo Itami and either Tyler Breeze or Finn Balor representing NXT in that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. What would it mean for NXT as a brand if an NXT superstar would go on to win that Battle Royal at WrestleMania?
That would be massive. That would be, as much as NXT is doing to expand nationally, internationally, to have one of our superstars represent and be victorious at WrestleMania would be game-changing.
I think if you talk to any of the competitors in NXT just appearing at WrestleMania, I think that's going to be enough. They want to win. Look at this reversal by Balor.
That's what NXT is all about, Rich. It's about being the best in the world. NXT is your stage. Make the best of it. Bigger and better things may lie ahead someday, but while you're here, you want to be the best.
Finn Balor starting to get fired up here, trying to regain control in this matchup. An opportunity in the finals of this tournament. Look at that corner enziguri.
Breeze might be out.
Balor for the victory to go on to the finals. And a kick out by Breeze.
Spent all that time talking about Hideo Itami's fighting spirit. How was that for fighting spirit? Tyler Breeze is half conscious, and he still managed to kick out.
Look out. Balor looked like he was going for that reverse lifting DDT. Breeze may have saved himself in this matchup.
Bought himself a little time, if nothing else.
Oh. Vicious running forearm, and look at this sling blade! Balor connects! Here comes Balor again! Running drop kick! And Balor going to the top, setting up Tyler Breeze!
comes Balor! Coup de grace! Hook of the leg! And Balor moves on to the finals!
Here is your winner, Finn Balor!
What a match! How are they going to top this? How are the finals going to compete with the semifinals? These have been two of the most intense matches I have ever seen, and to see them in the same night is a pleasure.
Finn Balor victorious here tonight over Tyler Breeze. And the finals are set. Finn Balor, Hideo Itami for the right to represent NXT at WrestleMania. What a matchup that's going to be coming up later tonight on NXT, but changing gears after the break, we're going to show you exclusive, never-before-seen footage from NXT's historic live event at San Jose State University over WrestleMania weekend.
You can see the event that everybody, even Mr. McMahon, has been buzzing about all week. Next on NXT.
I can't help that I'm beautiful. Body. Woo!
I'm nervous.
Oh, you're nervous. Let me go do what I do best, train. It's not my fault that I've earned this body. It's just the way of perfection.
Yeah, she's jacked.
I am jacked, you're right. Another day in paradise. And that I'm such a naturally gifted in-ring competitor. You want to talk about total divas? Well, you're looking at the total diva.
Well, it's not going to be long now until we finally get to see what Dana Brooke is all about.
Did you see her, Rich? The blonde hair, that physique. She is the total diva.
And right now, we want to take you inside the sold-out NXT live event during WrestleMania week in San Jose. What an historic night it was.
NXT Universe, I'm going to give you the first peek at the San Jose State University building. We're going to be running Friday night. If you don't think NXT is taking over, you got something else to think about.
NXT Universe, I want you to look around, and I want you to take a second to realize what we have started.
You are here to see the future, and the future is now. You are here to see NXT.
Now, I've been watching the show, and I've been listening to you guys all night, and without a doubt in my mind, this is the place to be.
It's not even called developmental anymore. It's just NXT. It's its own brand and gaining momentum daily. It's the hottest wrestling show on TV.
5,100 people here to see this. Nothing else, just this. My hat's off to everybody in here. Congratulations.
Okay, if I talk about it too much, I'll start crying. This is our WrestleMania, and it got to be in my hometown, so it's a little extra special for me. I had like a million friends here, my whole family, front row, and the NXT crowd is just like growing. I can't explain it. It's the greatest. I'm gonna cry. It was awesome.
Things are happening so quickly that who knows where we could be next month.
NXT sold out in Ohio. NXT sold out here in under an hour. NXT is the hottest thing on the planet today because of one person, and his name is Kevin Owens.
I could say it's very exciting, and it's great to be at the forefront of it because I'm the champion.
Being in this crowd is absolutely electric. Seeing the superstars and divas, I mean, they are awesome. The fans are awesome. I'm having a blast.
The secret's out. NXT is taking over.
It's palpable, you can feel it, and pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy night. San Jose, people so awesome.
I gotta be honest, I get to do some pretty cool stuff, but this is badass.
5,000 tickets in 2 hours is a testament for all the work that those men and women put into NXT every single week.
The significance can be, like, you know, understated. Is just insane. Tonight is sort of the fruits of our labor.
This is us! Not me, not you. This is us. So thank you.
People are watching, and people are satisfied.
I wish I could say what the future holds, but honestly, I don't know, because it's getting so big, so fast.
To me, there are no limits, there are no ceilings, and absolutely I had no doubt that NXT would be growing. But this is only the beginning.
What a night that was. But speaking of what a night, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, two superstars who have accomplished it all around the globe, compete for their shot at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania.
And that matchup is next.
It's good to be back.
Sami Zayn is more focused than ever.
I've had a lot of time to formulate a plan, and I know exactly what I'm going to do. Number one on the priority list is kick Kevin Owens' ass.
But the only thing more dangerous than a man with a plan is a man who's half beast.
Sami Zayn, you hear that? You will be ripped in half.
Don't miss this epic collision as Sami Zayn and Rhino battle for the first time ever. NXT, next Wednesday, 8/7 Central on WWE Network.
We are ready to go with the finals. One of these two competitors in this matchup will get their WrestleMania moment.
Introducing first from Tokyo, Japan, weighing 180 pounds, Hideo Itami.
The finals of this tournament, the winner of which competes in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania. Hideo Itami, Finn Balor. What an opportunity these two men have here tonight, Corey Graves.
There are two superstars who have accomplished so much in their careers to this point, but they have bright futures ahead of them, and it could take them both to the next level by competing and appearing at WrestleMania.
The opportunity to compete at the show of shows, the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania.
And his opponent from Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing 190 pounds, Finn Balor.
But Graves, this is something we alluded to before. The opportunity is there to compete at WrestleMania, to get that WrestleMania moment. But if you talk to Hideo, if you talk to Finn, merely getting there is not enough for them. They want to win the whole thing.
Absolutely, these two are competitors first. They want to be the best in their game, whatever the game is, whether the game is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or this match right here. Finn Balor, Hideo Itami want to succeed as much as they want to breathe.
What an opportunity to further put NXT on the map, to have the opportunity to represent NXT at WrestleMania. What does that mean to both of these competitors in this match?
These are two superstars who have arrived in NXT, absolutely taking not just NXT, the entire WWE universe by storm. They're all the buzz. There was a buzz around these guys before they got here. Now they're here. They want to take it to the next level, and they want to bring NXT with them.
Let's not forget it was Finn Balor and Hideo Itami, who were a tag team, and squared off against the Ascension. These two know each other very, very well. A healthy bit of respect between the two of them. Let's not forget they faced each other before, Corey.
Absolutely, that was what I was about to say to you. And it was one of the most competitive, incredible matches I have ever seen in my life. NXT or beyond. I almost didn't want it to end.
Balor against Itami in the #1 Contenders tournament. A few months back on NXT, of course, Finn Balor went on to win that #1 contendership. Ultimately came up short against Kevin Owens. This could be a technical masterpiece.
This has the capabilities of being a technical masterpiece, but these gentlemen both have the capability to have a knockdown, drag-out brawl. We talked about Hideo Itami's strikes. We've seen Finn Balor's kicks. This could go any way.
What does the winner of this match have to think about heading into WrestleMania, knowing the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, you'll be facing big men like Jack Swagger, Eric Rowan, Kane, Big Show. I mean, how do you compete against that, Corey?
Well, they'll have 3 days to strategize, to figure out a way. How do you compete against a guy like the Big Show? Sometimes there's no substitute for experience, but they're worried about right now. They're worried about getting to WrestleMania. They can plan what they do when they get there after the match is over.
Look at the knee driven right into the side of the face of Hideo Itami.
No wasted motion by Finn Balor.
Finn locking the fingers as well there momentarily. Now the pressure applied to the shoulder, Finn Balor.
This is a great strategy by Balor. Take away those arms, neutralize those arms. You take half of Hideo's offense away from him. You still got to watch out for those kicks, though.
Oh, look out. Here's Hideo with a leg sweep. Things starting to heat up. Big drop kick by Balor. Cover. An opportunity at WrestleMania on the line and a kick out by Hideo Itami. What an atmosphere this has been. WrestleMania Axxess, a split crowd here, Corey.
Absolutely, we have fans from all over the globe here.
Hideo connects with a knee. Did you hear that strike?
I almost felt that strike just watching it.
Cover, Hideo! Kick out by Balor.
Itami's so quick, he's sudden with those kicks. It's so high impact. Any one of those strikes can take out Finn Balor.
Hideo Itami defeating Adrian Neville in the semifinals to make it to this matchup. Finn Balor, meanwhile, defeated Tyler Breeze in the semifinals.
Might I add, the semifinals were as exciting as anything I've seen in months here at NXT, and these guys are going to top it.
What is Hideo doing right here?
He's driving the forearm across the face. It's incredibly painful. It's beyond just a rear chin lock. It's the way I could describe it to you is take your own forearm, drive it across your cheekbone, across the bridge of your nose. It is incredibly painful.
Yeah, no thanks. Oh, look at this, sunset flip, roll through, drop kick by Balor. So adept. Balor picking up the momentum.
Yep.
Deadly strikes. Like lightning bolts. Finn Balor connecting. This time Hideo able to counter. Look out, whoa.
And Finn Balor with a counter of his own.
What an enziguri in the corner. Connecting. Cover. Balor. Unable to put Hideo Itami away.
You'd be hard-pressed to find any two superstars in NXT who know each other as well as these two. They spent so much time in Japan and around the world together, they know each other's moves.
Knew exactly what was coming right there. Both competitors stunned. Look out, here comes Hideo. Running knee in the corner. One of these two competitors will get an opportunity at WrestleMania. Look out. Oh! DDT across the ropes, and here comes Hideo to the top rope. Flying clothesline. That could be enough. Hideo Itami with an opportunity at WrestleMania on the line, and Balor kicks out.
Not so fast, Hideo. Finn Balor wants this victory as much as anything he's ever wanted in his life.
Oh, look out! Will we finally see it? No! Balor able to counter out. Oh! My goodness! Counter after counter! Pele kick! And the field is even! Listen to the WWE and NXT universe here at Axxess.
It's absolutely incredible. Such a magnificent opportunity on the line. Hideo Itami, Finn Balor, everything's neutral again. This might come down to which man makes it to his feet first. And they get it up at the same time.
Opportunity of a lifetime at stake.
I don't know if it's ever a wise move to trade strikes with Hideo Itami. But if anyone can do it, it might be Finn Balor.
Oh, no. Look out! Just angered the beast. Here's Hideo. The combination. And Balor's in a bad spot. Here comes Hideo. Stalling drop kick.
He got all of it.
Look out, Hideo. Picking up momentum. Counter. Sling blade by Balor.
Is there anything left for these two guys to do to each other that they don't have a counter for?
We're in extra innings. Look out. There's a drop kick. Hideo's head bouncing off the turnbuckle. And Balor.
Finn Balor can taste his WrestleMania moment right now.
Balor wants to finish it. Here he goes to the top. Oh! Look out, look out. Here's Hideo Itami. Wait a minute. Oh, countered by Balor. Roll up center of the ring. Oh! That might have been it. But look out. Hideo connected. Hideo connected with a shotgun kick. And Hideo Itami. Hideo Itami is going to WrestleMania.
Your winner, Hideo Itami.
Hideo Itami came to WWE, to NXT, to prove to the world that he is as good as they say he is. He has a new platform, the biggest platform in the world, WrestleMania, to perform on.
Hideo Itami will compete in the second annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania. Congratulations, Hideo Itami. He will represent NXT proudly.
Rich, I've got a new pick as to who's going to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Who's that?
I have no choice but to support my guy, Hideo Itami.
And what a matchup here tonight at WrestleMania Axxess.
Hats off to Finn Balor. What a contest. What a tournament. what a moment. That's what NXT is all about right there. As a brand, as a group, all succeeding together, we are all going to support Hideo Itami at WrestleMania. I can tell you that right now.
Hideo Itami will represent NXT. What an opportunity at WrestleMania. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The grandest stage of them all. And Hideo Itami has earned that opportunity.
What an incredible showing by Hideo Itami, qualifying for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania. And when we come back, we get to take a look at Hideo's unforgettable journey over WrestleMania weekend.
You don't want to miss this exclusive behind-the-scenes look from the most important weekend in Hideo Itami's career. That's coming up next on NXT.
Hideo Itami, who earned his spot in the Battle Royal. I mean, this is going to be his very first time being at WrestleMania. I mean, this is a huge opportunity for him.
The following is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
やはり WWE はもう世界最高峰の団体ですから、やっぱりそこで自分がどれだけできるかというものを試してみたい、挑戦してみたいという気持ちが出てきたということですね。
The future is happening right here and now.
Well, it was a huge night for me because I had not been in front of my Japanese Hulkamaniacs for a while. There was a crazy roar in the building, and when we brought Kenta out,
A warm welcome for Kenta!
I had no idea it was going to get louder. I had no idea what a hero he was to the Japanese Hulkamaniacs. I had no idea the electricity, the energy. That was a very special night for me, and I learned a lot that night.
It's official! Kenta is the newest WWE superstar!
Dream come true! Because I'm starting over, I will be known as Hideo Itami.
The biggest international signing in the history of the WWE.
Hideo is a phenomenal representative of NXT. He is an international superstar. Here's a guy that picks up his life, leaves his children and his wife, and moves 3,000 miles away, and took a huge gamble to leave Japan, not speaking the language, to train.
After being in Japan, it was a huge learning curve for him. WWE fans taught him a whole new lesson about what it takes to win and become a champion in this company.
I came to NXT to be champion. I will not let my country down.
He is the best kicking pro wrestler in the world. And that's what I consider myself to have very strong kicks. Hideo Itami will kick harder than I will.
Hideo Itami, Finn Balor, the finals of this tournament, the winner of which competes in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania.
The playing field's even here. These are two world-renowned, world-class superstars, both vying for the same opportunity.
Oh, look out! Will we finally see it? No! Balor able to counter out. Hideo Itami, wait a minute! Hideo connected with a shotgun kick! That connected square, is this enough? And Hideo Itami is going to WrestleMania!
come here and be as successful as he has become in such a short period of time, to be able to go to WrestleMania, it's just amazing. And that's really what NXT is about. It's about seeing the future in front of you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Wow. I can't believe, yeah, this Sunday, I'm gonna WrestleMania. Yeah, it's dreaming. Yeah, but it's not dream. It's true. This is my older son.
My name is Ryu.
Ryu. My name is Ryu. My name is
Osuke. My name is Osuke.
younger son Osuke. Yeah. I fight for fans, but also I fight for my family, my kids, my wife. So I'm so proud.
I think this is a great introduction for him to the extended WWE Universe. I think he's a fantastic representative of NXT and also of what NXT has become. You got a photo of this?
It's good. Tomorrow, big night. I'm sleeping. See you tomorrow.
Oh man, we're trying to see Hideo Itami. He's gonna make it to the main roster soon, and he's gonna go straight for the championship. That's it.
It's been trending worldwide all night long.
But I got to see a clip of Itami hitting the GTS on Breeze and seeing that place go nuts and realizing, all right, he's going to be a pretty big deal here.
Well, he's the originator of the go-to-sleep move. You know, he's where it all started.
It's 5,000 people. It's one live event in San Jose, and our fans are going nuts.
Finally, it's my move. I take back. Crazy night. Awesome. So excited. I am ready for WrestleMania.
Thank you.
Ready to go?
Yeah. So excited, but a little bit nervous. Yeah.
Hideo Itami, man, he's the perfect candidate. Best import from Japan they could have ever brought in.
I think NXT getting represented as brand is absolutely amazing, and it showcases all what NXT talent is about, and I feel like he's the perfect candidate for it.
Nervous, more excited. Yeah.
The aura and the element that those performers under the NXT umbrella bring is very different than what you'll see out here, in a great way. It keeps them hungry, it keeps them motivated, and they are most certainly 100% prepared when they can step on that big stage.
I wrestle here, I perform.
Congratulations. Have fun. Thank you. Yeah, what's up, man?
Good. You?
First WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Quick, man. Quick. Me, take me 3 years, first WrestleMania. You, 6 months. No problem.
That's right. Do my best.
That's awesome, man. Have fun, okay? Yeah.
This is WrestleMania. Yeah, I'm ready.
You see it, a sea of humanity, all hoping to win the second annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Hideo is the young up-and-coming superstar from NXT who won a tournament at WWE Axxess, the fan festival, to be here tonight. Hideo Itami eliminating Dallas. Now Dallas is out of the Battle Royal. And now Big Show is targeted Hideo Itami. But look at Itami go. The Hideo chance for Philly Levi Stadium. Oh, the knockout punch. Welcome to the big leagues.
Hideo's got a bright, bright future ahead of him. It just wasn't today.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, very good job.
Thank you. He's 6 months into WWE and he's in his first WrestleMania, so win, lose, or draw, that says a lot about him, his talent, his perseverance, and his passion for what we do here.
Make me proud. You can do it. You can own it here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Good luck. I look forward to working with you some more. Respect. Thank you. Good job.
He walked on stage in front of 70,000+ people in the biggest event that he possibly could have ever dreamed of being involved in.
It was amazing time, you know. Wow, you know, so excited. So, still dreaming.
He won. He won. In every way imaginable, he won.